How are y'all doing today, everybody? I'm doing the John Deere. I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I did the video. This is going to be a mobile upload, so it's just going to be a quick, so I can get it out there. You saw me pulling the liners on this thing. And I'm going to bring you around here. You see your counterbore there, okay? A lot of times the counterbore will get eroded. These are very, very nice, but a counterbore will get eroded, and you have to go in and you cut them. And cutter that sits down in, bolts down into your head bolt holes, fasten it down, and it has a machining tool. You go in, and every one that I've ever done, I've always done them by hand. I never had the expensive cutters. I was manual. When I cut counterbores, what I would do is I'd find the worst counterbore, whatever the depth of the worst one was, and I would cut it and clean it up. And I would mic it then and find out what my depth was. Whether it's 8, 10, 12, 14, whatever it took, you know. And then I would have my shims to bring it back up to the height to manufacturer's recommendation. And then I'd go down the line. My cutter's already out. I'd go down the line, and because most of the time, if you have one hole to do, then you got one hole to do. But if you got more than one hole to do, I'd go down the line and I would cut every bore to my deepest depth of the first one I cleaned. So when the engine would get built, whether I was doing it or say after I did it, some other guy do it, whoever, say they ran another 700,000 miles or whatever, and we're going to rebuild this motor again. When you pull your liners, each bore had the same amount of shims in it, eased on assembly. So y'all saw me pulling these liners out. Now, when I pulled these liners, number one, shims. 2 had no shims. 3 had shims. 4 had shims. 5 had shims. 6 had shims. And what I'm getting at here, all of a sudden it was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Because I've had a person, I was doing an engine, I had to go on the road. They came in and they cut the bore for me. And when I got back, I had a pile of shims, an assortment of shims, so that I could shim my liners. And I went in and I started micing, and all my bores were different. And I thought, you gotta be kidding me, dude. So I called them back, and actually they gave me the cutter so I could cut all my bores and bring them dead nuts right down the line. And that way I have the same protrusion. You're gonna be darn close to the same protrusion. Then when you check it out, yeah, your protrusion normally is right where you want it. But I pulled this apart and I thought, you gotta be kidding me. And there's more than one shim in most of these holes. I thought this one's gonna be all up and down, up and down. And I know who rebuilt this last time. This was actually John Deere rebuilt this engine. It had a cam issue years ago, and John Deere did it under warranty. It's the only time this engine was ever touched internally. I have all the records on this engine. The company that I'm doing this for does fantastic record keeping. So I sat down today so I can start measuring my bores to know what for shims I need to start setting my liner protrusion. And number 6 is a single shim, 8/1000. Number 5, now you can see these things are stuck together pretty good. Number 5 is 2 shims. There is a 3 and a 5/1000 there. I'm sorry, that's an 8. This is a 3 and a 5/1000. Number 4 has a 3 and a 5/1000. Number 1 is a single 8. Number 3 has 2 3s and 2 5/1000s stacked. And I didn't peel these apart. I know they're 2 3s and 2 5s. All I did was just separated them a little bit just to get a look at what was in there. I did not mic these because they're right down the bore. I wanted to keep it together so you guys could see. I mean, you can see it's still stuck in its original condition. This was manufactured, when they put it together, 8 thousandths counter bore. -8 plus 16, 8, 8, and 8. Neighboring cylinders off that far, but it didn't have an external coolant leak, and it didn't hammer itself. So how did it stay together? There was a lot of sediment on the bolts neighboring those two bores. Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, I thought we were going to have something going on here, but every one of them, 0.477, 478, sorry, 478, right down the line. So, but I figured I'd throw that out there quick. Some of the things you see. Alright everybody, you have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay home. Subscribe, hit the like button if you would. You guys take it easy. See ya.